And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, you feed yourselves too much confusion, my children, too many opinions, too much luring, false realities of courts and trials that are fabrications to steer the people astray from the mark of the high calling I am calling my people to focus on, that's capitalized, and march toward and press toward and praise toward. Praise me in the midst, and you shall see much growth in your fruits of the Spirit. For many of you, your fruit is undergrown and sporadic because you are filling your soil with acids and toxic minerals and lies of serpents and snake oil. And those who now are accusing others and speaking, quote, top secret intel and docs, and he puts this in quotation, that really are nothing more than a ballooning lie. These balloons shall burst as too much hot air has filled these arenas, and time for deflation in markets as well shall and will occur in the next year. And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, there shall be an even greater wake-up call. This one will not be missed, and it shall even rattle those in the deep, and shall cause those in branches and pentagons, secret agencies, to scramble, for they have overlooked a loophole of sorts in all their paperwork that they thought was so ironclad. All lies and no accountability. Well, says the Lord, checks and balances are due, and there is a smoldering fire that in a moment shall erupt, and that needle in a haystack shall be found, and a blow to the head for the pharmaceutical triple P, and a tumble for those bound by fatal agreements. I am grieved, says the Lord of hosts, at what men have done. The Spirit is grieved, and the enemy shall tremble as I, the Lord your God, raise from my capital throne and rebuke them by name. And events shall follow to confirm this, as innocence is being harmed by the rebellion of men. And I, the Lord, am commanding my children, come up higher with their standard, that truly a banner is raised and holiness is shouted across the land. These pockets of holiness and those on bended knee publicly shall tip the nation, says the Lord of hosts this day. And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, the eagle has been given poison. However, these signs shall follow those who believe. That's capitalized. They shall heal the sick, raise the dead, drink what is poisonous, and it shall not harm them. That's capitalized. The eagle shall not die, says the Lord, as was intended from the start of a sinister plan that tricked the one who held the highest seat in the land. However, I, the Lord your God, am going back and making a correction and setting the fracture back in its place and realigning what came out of alignment when a wicked doctor and counsel was believed over me and what I, the Lord your God, had to say. However, says the Spirit, this is now going to change, and a lesson will be learned for many that will evoke such change in their lives and will redirect them off of the road riddled with death and destruction, and the lane shall suddenly shift, and triumph shall be seen on the horizon. However, some elections shall be unsettling for constituents in both parties, says the Lord of hosts, as right now the people trust neither, for they sold the people for securities whose foundation is corroded with black mold, pestilence, and rats, and extermination and removal is coming, says the Lord. Let God arise and let his enemies be scattered. That's capitalized. And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, the area of the Congo, watch, ... And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, the muzzle, sorry, I had an itch. And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, the muzzle shall backfire, and the governor of New York shall be the recipient of such gall. For she was warned, says the Lord, and there has been a dance with the devil while claiming to walk in the light. And I, the Lord, am once again going to purge the land of governors who have dug in their heels and caused strife. However, there are Zerubbabels, and I, the Lord, will call them by name, and they shall become beacons and shall lead in strength and wisdom, and shall help topple leadership in other states who have shackled and oppressed their people. The Pharaoh governors shall fall, as there shall be no triple crown for them, as they have now teetered on the edge of the cliff of their own creation, and shall become victims now of their own wicked system. And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, Make sure you are aligned with me. That's capitalized, my children. For there shall be supernatural protection and a bulldozing of stumbling blocks strategically planted. That heaviness and weariness is lifting as I pour out onto my children a refreshing, a tearing of that covering of heaviness amidst the smog they have created. And you will see and hear me more clearly than you ever have. For I, the Lord, am tuning my children. That's capitalized. My vessels, my instruments. I am tuning you. Some areas that have gotten out of tune are receiving a fine tuning and shall increase the precision in which you operate in the abilities I, the Lord, have equipped you with. The armor of God shall be seen. The wicked attempting to harm my children, they shall see what they are armed with, and it shall cause a retreat, as I, the Lord, say this day, my capital children shall march a march that will start out as a faint rumble and will increase to a deafening march that shakes the foundations of wickedness of the high places. One major high place is set to fall in 2022. As the wicked shall be divided and oppose each other, it shall be a game of exposure from the very ones who kept such things hidden. Watch and see, it is upon your nation. And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, this is all capitals, I am the Lord your God. I am righteousness. I am holy. I am truth. I am victory. I am salvation. I am almighty. I am all powerful. I am the righteous judge. I am the high priest. I am the counselor. I am your father. And you need to see me as such and know it is beyond